Hi everyone, so today you've obviously got a relief teacher, but I just wanted to show you this quick video to talk you through your next assignment that you're going to be working on today. So it's obviously an athletics assignment, okay, and you're going to be analysing a few athletics events. You have 4 events that you'll be analysing today. So you've got 100 metre, shot put, long jump and the 1500 metre. You're going to do a few different things in this task. You're going to be classifying the events and determining which fitness components or which fitness factors are most important in those 4 events. You're going to be analysing the athletes who compete in those events, and it's going to be Olympic, elite level athletes that you're going to be analysing. And finally, you're going to select some fitness tests and tell me which fitness test will be most appropriate to test whether an athlete is suitable for that particular event and whether they'll be particularly successful. Okay, so if you just flip over to page 2, you'll see your achievement standard and task criteria. There are 6 achievement standards that we are going to be evaluating you on in this assignment. So there's a few different things that you're going to be doing. You will be investigating, you'll be evaluating, justifying, okay, identifying. Really important when you do this assignment that you use correct terminology. So when you're talking about fitness components and fitness factors, use those correct terms. So if you're talking about an athlete in the 100 metre sprint and you want to say that they need to be able to run very, very fast, rather than saying that, a good use of correct terminology would be able to say that the athlete needs a lot of speed. They need to have good speed to be able to be successful in this event. Okay, so your next page looks like this, and it has a series of scales here, okay, and we're looking at different fitness components. Okay, so what you need to do for each of these components, so if we start with power, so you have your sliding scale here for power. Now what you need to do is take each of these 4 events here. So again, you've got your 100 metre, shot put, long jump, 1500 metre. For each of those events, you need to mark on the power scale how important is power to that particular event. There's a couple of ways you could do it. You could highlight each event in a different colour and then just mark a little highlighter on each scale. You could label with 1, 2, 3, 4 where you think is appropriate on each scale, or you could actually write in the labels of 100 metre shot put, etc. Okay. If you choose to take the option of labelling 1, 2, 3, 4, let's have a look at what that might look like for your power scale, okay? So let's take event number 1 first. We've got the 100 metre sprint. So remember, power is about using strength and speed together to create big, powerful movements. So we need to analyse the activity. So if we look at the 100 metre sprint and you think, well, when the shotgun goes off, that athlete needs to be able to have really good power in his or her legs, to push off from the sprint blocks to get a good start in the race. They need to maintain that power in their legs to keep up good speed so that they can beat the other competitors to the finish line. So if you think about all those things, then really you should be marking a number 1 down this end of the scale, because you need power to be a successful 100 metre sprinter for all of those different reasons, okay? You would then look at the other events and you might say for shot put, perhaps it's down here, long jump could be here, and maybe for the 1500 metre, maybe it's really important here, okay? Now, obviously 2, 3 and 4 are not correct. You're going to think about it and analyse for yourself. It's just an example, okay? So you need to do that on each of these scales. So flexibility, local muscular endurance. So remember, endurance is about working for a long time. Okay, so those muscle groups working repetitively. Remember when we tested for local muscular endurance, it was our sit-up test, and you didn't just do 1 sit-up, you did as many as you could do in 60 seconds. So think about that with local muscular endurance. So going down, you've got aerobic power or your fitness, and we tested that with our beat test. strength, agility, speed. Okay, so if we look at agility, and again, we're analysing the 100-metre sprint, agility is about being able to change direction while maintaining balance and speed. So if you think about the 100-metre sprint, it's in a straight line. So those athletes don't need to change direction. They really don't need agility. So you're probably going to mark 100-metre sprint down this end, okay? And again, you'd put your 2, your 3, and your 4 in there as you see appropriate, okay? To make sure that you are analysing each of those fitness factors or components of fitness, okay? And you're classifying. So looking at the next page now, you've got another task. This time, you are identifying, okay, which fitness factor or which component of fitness is most important for each event based upon your previous classification. So down here, you will identify, okay, which fitness factor is most important for the 100-metre sprint, okay? You might choose something like agility. Okay, so if you think that agility is the most important fitness factor to be successful in the 100-metre sprint, you would write agility there, okay? And then you need to do the next step, which is to justify, okay? Which is give a reason. Why do you think that agility is important for that 100-metre sprint? There's no one right answer in this little task, okay? You may all have different answers. Obviously, there's a few that are wrong. Hopefully, you don't actually pick agility for your 100-metre sprint, because remember, those athletes don't need to change direction, so agility is not important, okay? But pick something that you think is important. You might pick speed or power, okay? And then give me a reason. What is it about that event that means that that particular fitness component is important? So consider the type of event, consider the physical requirements and the length of time that the event runs for. Use those things to give your response here to really justify your chosen fitness component here, okay? Give nice detailed answers. You've got plenty of lines there to write on. Now again, make sure you're completing this for all 4 events, okay? Pick your fitness factor and give me a reason. Okay, on to our next page, next little part of your analysis. You're going to be describing what a person that competes in the Olympic Games might look like if you were to meet them in person, okay? So you're talking about an elite competitor in each of these events, okay? And you then need to state or describe one thing about their body that would help them win and why it would help them win, okay? So in this first section here, you're going to give your description of the athlete. So you might say the 100-metre sprinter is tall, they're muscular, okay? They've particularly got strong leg muscles. And then one thing about their body that would help them win and why it would help them. So if you were analysing a netball goal shooter, hopefully you would talk about the fact that if they were tall, that would help them be successful as a goal shooter, so that it's easier to get the ball in, and if they're rebounding the ball, it's more likely that they'll be able to beat the defender because they're going to be nice and tall to get that ball, okay? Again, each of the 4 activities, okay, the 4 events for athletics. And make sure that if you are a bit stuck, you can look on the next page, and I've given you 4 pictures there of examples of elite Olympics competitors for each of these 4 events. So just quickly, we've got our 4 competitors here. So we have here our 100-metre sprinter, is this man in the green and gold. Have a look at his body, you know, what is it about his legs, for instance, okay, or his upper body that might help him be successful in a 100-metre sprint. And then if you compare that, we've got down here is our marathon runner, okay, which you'd be looking at for an idea about your 1500-metre race, okay. What is it about the marathon runner, okay? Look at the length of their legs, okay. Are their legs big and muscular? Are they thin and muscular? What is it about their body composition? Okay, here you've got the lady competing in long jump. What is it about a long jumper? And down here is our shot putter. Okay, what is it about that man that means he is going to have good power, good strength to be successful and throw that shot put as far as possible? Okay, and here's your final part, so part B of your fitness test evaluation. And again, you are identifying and justifying, okay? We are looking at the 4 events, and you need to select a fitness test that would be appropriate to determine if an athlete is suited to that event, okay? So go back to the page before where you selected the most important fitness factor for that event, and then try and identify a fitness test that would test that factor. Now, you've already completed your fitness testing task, and we tested all of you for a variety of fitness components, and we used some standard testing to test those fitness components in your own performance. So if you select speed, think back to that task. What did we do in class to test for speed, okay? So if you've chosen for the 100 metre and you think that speed is the fitness test you're going to pick, you put in speed and what is the test, okay? So what did we do? And in that instance, we did the 30 metre sprint test, okay? So we timed ourselves running over 30 metres. How fast could you cover that 30 metres? And then, why would the 30 metre sprint test be a good test for a 100 metre runner? Okay. Why is it appropriate? How does it relate? Okay. And again, you can consider these 4 things: the type of event, the requirements, the length of time, and the amount of effort. So again, complete that for all 4 athletics events, okay? On my sheet, it does say fitness factor. On yours, it will say fitness test, like up here, okay? It's just a typo. So you need to put in the fitness test. If it helps you to answer, you can put in the fitness factor, like I have, followed by the test, okay? Just to help you with your thinking through and answering that, okay? So that's your assignment. You need to be working on that today. You should be able to complete quite a lot of it. It's not a really difficult task, hopefully, and you're going to use your prior knowledge, okay? And we'll talk about it when I'm back next week.